Am I the asshole for saying my stepsister's lack of support network for her baby is not my problem? I'm 25 female and she's 24 female. We're both pregnant and due around the same time. I also don't like her and would never spend time with her outside of something family related. And even then I'm not hanging out with her. We're just in the same space. My baby shower was organized by my cousin who is a very good friend as well as 2 other very close friends. The shower is today actually. My stepsister had nobody offer to throw her a shower and weeks ago my mom asked me to let her share mine. I said no. My stepsister then asked me to throw her one. I said no yet again. We're not close enough for me to invite her, so I'm not going to spend my money throwing her one. My mom told me she has nobody, that none of her friends offered and nobody in her bio family or our side offered either. I told mom it's not my fault she has nobody. I pointed out it's time for them to ask why people don't want to do this for her, why she has no support network outside of her and her husband. Mom said I should be doing more because we're sisters. My reply was her lack of support network and baby shower are not my problem. For context, my stepsister and I both lost our other parent. My mom married her dad when I was 9, she was 8. She has always claimed her loss was greater than mine, has outright told me I don't have the right to grieve him the way she grieves her mom. She made up a lie when she was 14 about my paternal grandparents calling her an unwanted bastard because she was jealous they wouldn't take her out when they spent time with me. She told my cousin, paternal cousin, that they had to treat her like family or she'd get them in trouble too. It's how she got found out. She's also the kind of person who expects you to do what she wants and would never reciprocate. So I dislike her. I don't consider her my family and I still call myself an only child. My mom, her husband and even my stepsister are outraged that I would be so callous about her. They say I should care about her and my niece. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I feel like if your mom cares enough, she should throw it for her rather than annoying you about it. Hope enjoyed your baby shower at least. Also, was your mom aware of what she said when you were younger? Not the asshole. I agree with your statement of asking why no one wants to throw her a shower. Honestly, if your mom and stepdad are so concerned, they should throw her own shower. Not the asshole. If your mom is so worried, let her arrange one, at a different time and date than your own. Not the asshole. Why doesn't your mom or her dad throw the baby shower for her? Not the asshole. You are pregnant and having a baby. Why would you be the one to throw her a shower? Why doesn't your mom do it or rope someone else? Not the asshole. I don't even know what to say other than you don't owe anyone anything. Even if you're related, her lack of support system is not your problem, and it doesn't sound like she's done anything her whole life to be supportive or even sisterly to you. If your mom is so worried about it, she can throw one. Am I the asshole for not swapping my meal with my pregnant cousin? Yesterday, my 24F extended family went out for a dinner catch-up. My cousin, Allison, 29F, came. She's pregnant. I ordered a burger with fries. Allison had some type of herb pasta. When our food came, she asked if I wanted to swap with her because she didn't like the smell of the pasta. I said sorry, but I want my burger and maybe she can swap with someone else. She said she was suddenly craving a burger and no one else had ordered one. I told her she can order again. Allison said they're saving for the baby and won't waste money buying another dish, that I didn't have to pay the difference if I swapped, the pasta was more expensive. I kept saying no. She got really upset and said I didn't understand the struggles of pregnant women. My mom saw and said I should just swap and was acting like a kid. I said Allison was acting like a kid. Allison said she was hurt and I don't understand pregnancy. My aunt, Allison's mom, noticed the commotion and told Allison to learn how to deal with these things because not everyone will care about her. I'd had enough, so I just started eating before anyone else could tell me to swap. My mom later said I created a scene for no reason and Allison's pregnant, so I should have been more understanding. She said she's lost face in front of my aunt. Now I'm thinking if I should have just sucked it up and swapped. Throw away BTW. Edit. Just wanted to clarify something. My aunt's comment to Allison was snarky, sarcastic, like, oh, your own cousin doesn't care that you're pregnant and suffering and you have to learn how to deal with it. That's why my mom said she was losing face. Because Allison's mom wasn't impressed I didn't swap. Not the asshole. Pregnancy isn't a free pass to demand special treatment. If Allison wanted a burger, she was free to order another. If that couldn't be done, she was free to eat the pasta and quit complaining. Not the asshole. And if your cousin were really concerned about saving money, she would have ordered something less expensive in the first place. Not the asshole. You should look up the Garfunkel and Oates song, Pregnant Women Are Smug, on YouTube. Not the asshole. Pregnant doesn't mean suddenly a toddler. She's responsible for her own food problems. Not the asshole. Just because you are pregnant it doesn't mean you can act like a spoiled brat. The only person she should have asked to swap is her husband. She could have ordered another hamburger and taken the pasta home. That way it wasn't wasted. Not the asshole is someone who is a mom, and also currently pregnant. My cravings are not someone else's problem. It is extremely rude to harass someone into trying to get them to switch a dish with you just because you don't like how something smells. I get it, trust me, food aversion can be a pain, but ordering a burger isn't that big of a deal and people need to stop catering to her. Am I the asshole for refusing to take money from my son's college fund for my stepdaughter's surgeries? I have 2 kids, my biological son, Dave, 17M, and my stepdaughter, Rose, 8F. Dave's not particularly close with neither Rose or my wife, Amy. My son has sensory problems and doesn't do well nor like noise that much. He get overload and provoke him panic attacks. My wife and daughter are really noisy, happy people. They tone it down when he's here because I only have him on weekends, but there's so much a 8-yo can do to not be that noisy. Either way, he's kind and good toward her. Rose would love to spend more time with Dave, but he plays with her for an hour or 2 at best before being tired and goes to his room to do his own thing. My ex-wife and I set a college fund for our son about 15 years ago. My wife and I also have one for Rose, but we only began saving up 2-3 years ago. Before that, she didn't had much because it has always been her and Rose. His father was never in the picture and she had to take care of things on a day-to-day basis. Rose had an accident a week ago and it's requiring a leg surgery and a wrist one. Even with insurance, we're running short. We have to withdraw Rose's college savings and we still need a bit of money, so my wife asked me to take some of Dave's fund, from my part. Thing is, I don't think that's fair. My son's a good kid. He does really good at school and if I take the required money, I'll cut his prospects short and that's not fair. My wife said that our daughter needs the surgeries ASAP and that Dave will be able to keep studying, and that he can take some loans that we can pay up later, but I know we won't be able. We still have to set Rose's fund again and pay whatever it's needed after that. She said I could ask if that makes me feel better, but I still don't wanna. I know Dave will say yes out of pressure of guilt and not because he really wants to. She's calling me an asshole because I'm choosing my bio kid over the step one, but I don't see it that way. That's Dave's money, it belongs to him from the moment I deposited it and it's not mine to take and do as I please. Still, my wife is mad. I said we could ask her parents, but she called me an asshole again. Not the asshole. Payment plans for medical expenses exist and typically less interest than student loans. As you've said, it's your son's money, not yours or hers. At 17, I'm guessing he's about to start applying for colleges. Her can get a personal loan for daughter's needs and leave the guilt and extra expenses off of him. Call the hospital, make a payment plan. As long as you have insurance they'll do Th3 surgery, figure the money later. Payment plan. Not the asshole. As you said, that is his money now. You and your ex-wife decided this together. She is not his mother and can't make financial decisions that can hurt his education for him. She can pay back medical bills for her daughter. Your wife is a selfish asshole who isn't respecting your son and needs some boundaries. Colleges are far less forgiving about paying the expenses than hospitals are. Wife needs to call the hospital finance department to discuss payment arrangements. You already have part of the funding. The hospital may have additional resources to help. And the child may qualify for state assistance via Medicaid, etc. Not the asshole. But your wife is for demanding you steal money from your son. Not the asshole. She is asking you to choose between the children, yet she has already made her choice, her kid over yours, and thinks you're the asshole for not making the same choice? You have given what you can, and so has your family. It's now on her to make the same efforts. Info. Has the hospital said they won't operate without the payment upfront? Wouldn't it just be that they'd provide a bill afterwards? In which case the kid will still get the surgery anyway. If your wife won't ask her family for help, then it will be a payment plan with the hospital. They're not going to leave a child with a mangled leg and wrist. Not the asshole. By her saying that you chose bio kid over her said a lot, and she is also doing the same thing with her bio kid. You're right, it's not her money to spend and she could have asked her parents as a first result and the college fund would be the very last result. Am I the asshole for leaving a dinner date after he fed his dogs a better meal than us? Title screams entitlement, but let me explain. I started casually dating a guy 2.5 months ago. We have gone on several dates, such as movies or dinner at restaurants and the arcade at the pier near the ocean. It's been a really pleasant time and I don't want you guys to think I don't appreciate this guy, because I do, but this really rubbed me the wrong way. As for who has been paying for the dates, we usually split 50-50. He has paid for me once and I have paid for him twice, but the rest is split. So he knows that I have a gastro-reflux disease, severe acid reflux that I'm on medications for. I can't eat anything that has red sauces, barbecue sauce or artificial dyes such as red or blue. Yes, the medications help, but only if I'm sticking to a pretty clean diet. I can't even eat hamburger because of the red dye they use. When I eat the things mentioned above, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. As I said, he knows all of this. We have talked about it several times. So he invites me over to his place and says he wants to make dinner. He makes a point to tell me to make sure you have a strong appetite. So I didn't eat anything at all since breakfast and I was starving after working all day. So I arrive at 6 p.m. and I see him making steak, eggs, potatoes and corn on the cob, the small ones that you put in pasta salad. It looked and smelled delicious. He puts on a movie while we wait, so I'm in the living room the entire time he is cooking. Well, he keeps going back and forth between the kitchen and living room, and on his last trip back, he brings out our plates and much to my surprise, it's pizza. I just kind of look at him and ask where the steak and eggs were, and he pretty bluntly said that was for his dogs, 2 German Shepherds, and stated they eat better than he does. I reminded him that I couldn't eat pizza, red sauce, and he starts arguing that he made sure to not put much sauce on it and kept telling me to just try it. I asked if he had anything else and he said no. I told him sorry, but I needed to go and excuses myself. On the way home I grabbed myself something to eat. Well, he calls me and it sounds like he is having a meltdown. Saying he can't believe I made him feel like that and that the pizza was homemade and he made sure not to put much sauce on it, but he knows I can't have it at all, and said something about adding sugar to it, etc. Said I've showed my true colors. My friends also think I'm overreacting here and said I'm acting jealous of his dogs. Am I the asshole? No, not the asshole. This is what casual dating is for. He seems to have confused dislike of strong sauce, hence the sugar, for an actual medical condition, but it is odd that he can't seem to understand the simple medical explanation. Not sure this has anything to do with the dogs. Oh my god, not the asshole. You dodged a massive bullet here, and I'm glad he showed his true colors early on. Anyone who minimizes or disregards your dietary restrictions isn't just toxic, but an actual health hazard. The fact that he came unglued after you left and railed at you over the phone shows that he has massive insecurity issues. And, I own a very spoiled dog. I absolutely home cook for the dude from time to time. But is he doing that consistently? That's expensive. Don't lose any sleep over this dude. He's a total mess and you handled him with more civility than others would have. Just try, the food that would put you in extreme pain? Oh man, I'm mad just reading that. Not the asshole, but I don't think the issue here is necessarily what he fed his dogs, but his lack of respect for you and your dietary needs. That's a huge red flag for not caring about your boundaries. Especially when paired with him trying to guilt you about him not catering to your already discussed requirements for a healthy life. Not the asshole, because he made you a dinner he knew you wouldn't be able to eat. The dogs and splitting the bills are side issues. Not the asshole. You told him you couldn't eat certain foods. He made you those exact foods. You left. People who don't have issues with foods hurting them rarely understand why you follow a strict diet. I play mine off in public because I don't want to sound whiny, but it absolutely sucks ass. Sorry he turned out to have a meltdown. Not the asshole dude can feed his dogs whatever he wants. Has nothing to do with the fact that he knowingly made you something you couldn't eat, was dismissive of your health problems, and then threw a temper tantrum when you didn't just do what he wanted. Your friends are focusing on the wrong thing. Take the dog's meal out of the equation completely. My guy served you red sauce when he knows you can't eat it and copped an attitude when you didn't eat it. He showed his true colors and now you know. He's inconsiderate and self-important and you're better off without him.